Hi, this is Simon Maselli from Innovation Australia. This recording has been made for the Smart Cities and Suburbs program and the Northern Melbourne Smart Cities IoT network. This video is going to cover network management and the system called AlphaX and provide an overview of the management features available within the software. Meet AlphaX. A Pacquiao CIA Outlook magazine calls AlphaX the world's most advanced IoT platform. The IoT industry has a challenge. A typical system in an IoT ecosystem requires approximately 4 vendors to produce a complete solution. Those vendors provide different parts of the ecosystem, including devices, networks, aggregation, and user interfaces. AlphaX aims to solve that problem by providing one user interface to manage multiple vendor sensors and multiple networks. And it works something like this. The sensors, as you can see on the left-hand side of this diagram, talk through one or more LPWAN networks, 4G networks, 5G networks. They are aggregated in AlphaX, the AlphaX Network Management Console. And that data is pushed through to the operational interface of AlphaX or the customer business intelligence tools. In the case of the Northern Councils, that is the Azure platform. There are 4 things that AlphaX does to manage your IoT data. It manages the networks, it manages devices and device provisioning, it manages data and raw feeds, and it manages integrations. And from an operational insight perspective, there are 4 tools that it really provides. And one is data science, alerting, digital twins, and routing. And there are a whole heap more features that AlphaX has under its hood. We're not going to get into them today, but there is a list of some of them. So without further ado, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of AlphaX and the way that it can manage networks. So when we log into AlphaX, we're presented with this network overview screen. It's a spatial representation of our network, and as you can see, it's pretty easy to see the status of my items. I can see that I have the gateways are active, the nodes that are active, I can see how many messages I've received, and if I've set up notifications, how many notifications I should have received. I can zoom into clusters and have a closer look at how those clusters of sensors are performing. I can see that we've got a cluster here with a gateway around it. I may want to look at that from a closer perspective and a satellite perspective to see what it's actually installed on, and I'll just use those buttons at the top there. If I want to look at this overview from a table perspective, I can do click onto my gateways button down here, and I can look at my network from a table perspective. I can see the last time that my gateways checked in. I can see their current status. They all look like they're normal. If I had an error, I would obviously have a red dot here or an orange dot if it's just a warning. I can, for example, click into one of these gateways and start to manage the settings that are related to that gateway. So this is the Jindy Family and Community Centre gateway, a gateway at Whittlesea. I can see that it's received 3,109 messages and sent 14 messages. If I wanted to view this on a mobile device, it would be really, really great because AlphaX is designed to be mobile first. Hence these little sliders that show me the information that I need and really allow me to zoom into the information that I need really, really quickly, and it works really, really well on mobile. You'll also notice that I have these little indicators on the side here, green or grey. Green indicates that all of the information is filled out. Grey indicates that there's still some information missing. And in this particular example, I note that the Things network, a cellular backhaul, but I haven't entered in the complete information for this particular gateway. So if I enter in the information, and for interest of this demonstration, put a IP address into the IP address box. You'll notice that everything's saving as I'm going. That is again to be friendly on mobile, that we don't have to then go searching through the whole page for a save button. If I was to enter all of that information in, now I wanted to view this particular management console for this particular device, I would simply click onto a little button here. It would create a VPN connection, and I would then be able to access that individual gateway, the management console. So I could then continue going through and filling out the information on this particular gateway, and there's how I would manage gateways. If I wanted to, okay, so let's review node management. So node management is for managing sensors and their communication nodes. So this page gives me an overview of the status of all of those nodes. You can see here we have a sensor that may be out of range. You can see that we have a overview of battery performance, an overview of signal strength, and a last seen. We've also got some control elements over here on the right. So let's drill down and have a look at the Mill Park Library air quality sensor. We click on the Manage Nodes button here, and we can see here the sensor was last checked in 6 minutes ago. You can see the general information about the sensor, and you can see that I again have some information that's missing here, and that is a device status. So this device is actually active. Now this information is completed. You will note that we have channel information here. So this is information related to the unique channels that this particular sensor puts out. I have a short trend here. If I wanted to drill down into something with a little bit more detail, I could click on my analysis button. But something that may be important for us to review is the power source. So power source for this particular device, it's a battery operated device. So I click onto battery, and I can get a bit of an estimate here on the battery life. I can see here that the battery voltage is 3.96 volts. I can see here that it's got 80% left in it, and my algorithm is telling me that I've got 3,467 days left on this particular battery. So it's a really good performing device. But for example, I may have a different type of battery than the standard battery put in here. So I could essentially assign a different battery to this. My algorithms would then recalculate based on this battery parameters. So the way that I would change one of those templates for the battery or templates for the sensor types is to come into attributes. I would look at power sources, battery types, for example. This is power sources. I may want to look at battery types. And you can see here, I can then create a new battery type template. So for this particular site, I may want a new battery, high capacity. Excuse the spelling. This is a 4.2 volt. Minimum is 3.2 volt. The nominal voltage is 3.7 volts, and my capacity is 3.4 amp hours. So this is a typical 18650 battery. If I create that battery with those specifications and then went back to my sensor and applied that particular battery, as I mentioned before, that would be used for all of the calculations for this particular algorithm now. And again, I could set up different attributes for different parameters. So a different network type, I can assign the details, assign frequencies, all of those sorts of things for network types. For my channels, I can assign units, I can assign SI units, I can do all of those sorts of things. So that is really network management in AlphaX. So my name is Simon Maselli. I'm the General Manager of Innovation Australia. If you'd like more information on the information that I've just presented, visit our website, www.minovation.com.au. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube, Minovation AU. Do a search, find us there, join us, follow us, whatever you need to do to get the information that we send out regularly. Again, thanks for listening to this presentation. My name is Simon, and I'll talk to you next time.